Service column lock. I guess it's a good thing that I already ordered one. All right, we have some projects planned for today's C5 Z06 video with the LS3 swap. I didn't do any of this. I just got the car and everything was in it. I want to show you something that I found in the back. See, that says Lingenfelter Performance Engineering. It's a USB drive. You can tell it's been in the water. Remember I said this thing got some, like the seals are bad on the windows or somehow, but it's not uncommon for the back of these to leak. You can see it looks terribly nasty back there, but this is what got my attention. This book here, I started looking up and I was trying to find something that looked familiar. See that PE? That's the PE in the LPE, Lingenfelter Performance Engineering. And look closely, see that word? Nitrous? Now we see pulse controller. I'm thinking, I can't really prove it. You see how long that was in water. This thing is just totally smoked. And I can't prove it, but I think, and I wouldn't be surprised if the guys at Lingenfelter had something to do with the nitrous. See that? The words there. Nitrous oxide, 78% nitrous, blah, blah, blah. The stuff is just so far gone, but I'm looking at it and I'm seeing nitrous control center computer. Now, I saw another Z06 C5 from Lingenfelter that had this book, but obviously in presentable form. So, was this car at one point in time a Lingenfelter car? And if it was, I'm not even familiar with a nitrous injected Lingenfelter car. All the ones that I've seen are supercharged or twin turbo. So, and it's obvious that this car, as evidenced right down there, there's the purge solenoid. This is an LS3, but there's a nitrous kit on top. I'm trying to look all over it and find signs that maybe it had twin turbos on it. I've not found anything yet, and I've been doing all kinds of research to try to discover what it is, but on a supercharger on this car, they would have had a Magnuson supercharger, which mounts right there in place of the manifold. And they would not have used a Vera Ram intake. So here's my theory. Somebody bought this car, and right about when it was new, they went and took the LS6, took the whole car over to Lingenfelter, and they did all kinds of crazy cool stuff to it. Somewhere along the way, whoever had this proceeded to probably smoke the engine. Because now this is an entirely different engine in there. And I'm still trying to find something that would show me. And until I get it started, I can't look up under it to see if there's like any differences in the transmission or bell housing, clutch, that kind of stuff. So that leads me to my first project. It's very common for these C5s, no matter if it's a Z06 or not, to have an issue that comes up when you turn the key forward. It shows up on the display there that says steering column lock or service column lock. It will also say pull key, wait 10 seconds. That's because when that system goes bad, it has to have one of these, hold on a second, has to have one of these things put in. It's called an LMC5, and it just has about 4 or 5 wires there. I'm going to install that. It's very, there's lots of videos online about how to do that, so I'm not going to go into it, but all you really do, the BCM down there, you undo a couple wires, you plug in this new little harness, and it supposedly bypasses that. I did it on another car years ago and it worked, but that's all the directions involved in the whole thing. That's it. Doesn't go any further. I'm going to go in there, hook this thing up, and we will see if it changes anything on the when we turn the key forward to the start position. Okay, that's in place. Now, when we turn the key forward, it was saying pull key, wait 10 seconds. And manual the column lock thing. Let's get rid of that. We don't see it yet. No key. What could it be now? Steering column's not locked. Push in the clutch. Man, you could hear the relay for the fuel pump and everything, but it's just not cranking. That's the way it's supposed to. Reduced engine power. So what is doing that? However, reduced engine power should still make the car crank up. It would just not go anywhere. I hear a relay under there. Reduced engine power. I gotta go check the codes. I've been sitting here contemplating it, and I think this happened on another car that I still have. When I first got it, there's a TAC, throttle actuation control, or throttle activator, anyway, TAC for short, which is out under, kind of behind the right front wheel. And there are 3 components in that system. There's that out under the fender, behind the fender, and then there's the gas pedal itself. There's a little control module on there. And the 3rd component in the system is the throttle body. I have heard, like on my last one, what I had to do is check out, I changed out the throttle body and that's what fixed it. I wonder if there's a way to test these separately. I'm going to research that and then come back. Look at that little critter. That case just came off that thing. It was all cracked and broken and everything, so I guess I'm going to be buying a couple of these. But otherwise, I've been switching around a couple of those relays and seeing if it would change anything. A couple of them do not work. You can see down in the bottom there, see that nitrous line tucked in there. But anyway, I want to show you guys now that while it did do a little something something, it didn't totally fix the problem. So let's get in here and I'll show you what I mean. All right. Now, if you remember what it was doing before, was you'd look down at the gauges here, and right in this display area, the DIC, it would say pull key, wait 10 seconds. It would also say service column lock. So I went ahead and installed the little critter down in there. It's off to the side. It's just 4 wires, very easy to do, and a ground. And now, when I turn this key, I push in my clutch, you'll see what it's doing now. Key's on. You can hear the fuel pump out there. Reduced engine power. Service vehicle soon. Now, if you remember last time, it said service column lock. So while we still have those up on the display right now, the service column lock has been fixed. So while it may not look like we did anything, we actually did. The key still, touch it, nothing happens. This can be a couple of things. I still hear a relay down there. Not sure how well that picks up, but because I do hear the relay down there, I'm feeling like it's doing a little something. So as of right now, the plan for tomorrow, and see how, did you notice how I turned off the key and it still said low fuel and it's still showing the display of the miles? That should go away, especially when I pull the key out. It's not even in there. So that right there shows me that there could be something in that ignition switch. Now, since this car had a lot of moisture inside it, another code that I'm getting is an 1125, which leads to throttle body. As I said earlier, there are 3 components in the throttle body system. There's the throttle body itself, then there's what's known as a TAC module, and then there's your gas pedal that has a little module on it. You can think of the TAC module as the wiring between what used to be a carburetor, let's say, and a gas pedal. So those three components work together. You push the gas pedal down a certain amount and it reads it, and it says, okay, he's pushed down the gas pedal this much, so we'll open up the throttle body this much. So in the meantime, I'm disconnecting the battery every time I get out of the car, because as you can see, there's still power there. And with these doors being open, that should not still be on right there. And I don't know, I also checked a fuse that was in here called the crank fuse, clutch crank fuse, and that was still good. So, by the way, if you guys have any brilliant ideas on this car, rundown once again, it's a 2001 Z06, and that would make it a C5. The engine, however, is an LS3. I don't know the exact year yet, but I know that's what's in the car. It's got LS3 heads, LS3 intake, LS3 throttle body, and on the C5s, the throttle bodies can go bad. I'm not really sure how the C6s do, so if you're a C6 dude, then by all means let me know what's happening. But that's where I'm stopping today. I'm going to go inside and watch a whole lot of videos and try to learn a little more and come back out here tomorrow. But like I said, something did get fixed today. The LMC5 is in place, and I've gotten rid of one of the codes. I put it on a scanner, and that 1125 is the only one I got. So once I determine which of the three components it could be in that system for the accelerator, for the throttle, then I'll do that. But thanks guys for watching. We'll do another video tomorrow. We'll make progress. We'll get this thing running soon. I shouldn't laugh when I say that. It's testing me though, man. By the way, if you know anyone who wants a set of headlights that look like little frogs, let me know. And I'm looking for a stock set in quicksilver for a C5. Thanks.